Hey there techies. Recently, Gemini released the 2.5 Pro model, and ChatGPT released the GPT 4.1 model. Since then, I've had this question bugging me: which one is better at coding? Let's build projects using both of them and test their potential. So, the code war begins now. First of all, to access both the AI models, the easiest way I found is Tray AI Code Editor. Tray offers these models at no cost. As far as I've seen, Tray is the best free AI code editor with many cool features. But don't jump into conclusions, as Tray offers all paid models for free. It uses our data for training purposes. If you want to know more, watch the Tray AI video where I shared everything. Now, I'm going to start this by developing a simulation project using Gemini 2.5 Pro. But remember to switch the mode to Builder by typing at the prompt box. So let's hit enter and wait for the response. My bad, it seems Tray is overloaded with too many requests. I'm sorry guys, I didn't expect this. Let's try a new way, Google's AI Studio. It also offers Gemini 2.5 Pro for free with usage limitations. Let's paste the prompt in the prompt box and hit enter. The response speed is great. Let's zoom in and click on the expand to view thoughts option to see the thinking process. Amazing, look at the generation speed. This is quite awesome. First, it is making the calculations and preparing for the coding part. Actually, when you go through the thinking part, you get a basic knowledge of how AI understands and reacts to your prompt. This helps you to fine-tune your prompts for better results. At the right, below the model name, you can notice the tokens used for this project. Once you hit the predefined rate limit, you may have to pay to access further. That's why I am not building something huge. Now let's go through the response. Once the thinking process is done, it generated code in lightning speed. The instructions to run the code is also given. It seems first we need to install Pygame to run this simulation. If you scroll down at the end, we have the option to download and copy the code. And below, the Gemini has explained our code. Read these instructions to know how our project works. Especially at the bottom, Gemini has also shared us the way to run the code. Let's copy this code and try to execute it. I am gonna open a new folder in the Visual Studio Code Editor. Let's create a new Python file and name it as main. Now we have to paste the code that we previously copied. But before executing, we have to install the Pygame package. So let's open a new terminal and run the command pip install Pygame to install the Pygame library. Now it's time to run the file. Fine, as mentioned in the prompt, the balls are gradually losing energy. We can add balls by pressing the spacebar. Also, we can reset the balls by pressing R from the keyboard. The simulation looks great and gives a soothing feel. When I developed the same project in Gemini 2.0 Flash, the result was not this good. It means Gemini is evolving exponentially. Now, it's time to develop the same project using GPT 4.1. Actually, using Tray AI, I accessed GPT 4.1 and with the help of the same prompt, I got the code. Now all we have to do is to run the code. As Tray itself a code editor, we can run the code from within the Tray itself. The ball bounced twice and started to roll abruptly instead of slowing down gradually. Also, the ball is rolling continuously. The simulation is not as good as we thought. And also, unlike Gemini, we can't able to add balls or reset the simulation. Man, I never thought there will be this much difference between Gemini 2.5 Pro and GPT 4.1. At first, GPT was way better than Gemini. But now it seems like Google is turning the tide. But I don't want to conclude the winner with just one project, so let's develop one more project to assess the abilities of both the AIs. The second project that we are going to build is Voice Recorder with Sound Waves Visualization. As we did before, we will first develop this project using Gemini 2.5 Pro and later we will develop the same using GPT 4.1. So let's open the Google AI Studio and paste the prompt. As you can see, the prompt includes various functionalities like start, pause, resume, and also includes features like displaying waveform, frequency spectrum, and circular or radial patterns. Let's hit enter and wait for the response. As Gemini continued to process our request, you can notice that the usage of tokens at the right side. Mostly both Gemini and GPT are taking less than a minute to develop these projects, which is a great advantage. After thinking for 25.2 seconds, Gemini generated the output code. It has also provided us with the file structure. Here you can see the number of tokens used and the remaining free tokens. For this project, Gemini used approximately 8,000 tokens. You can see that it has generated HTML, CSS, and JS code separately. I'm going to run this code on Tray AI. The project setup is done and I have already opened the project on preview mode. Let's try to access it in the browser. Yeah, it works. but the UI looks very old and simple. But it has all the features like start, pause, resume, stop, and save. Let's record a song and check the functioning of the app. Now, I am playing a song in my mobile and recording the same with our app.
Right here, right now.
The start option and waveforms work well. Let's try the pause and resume option. The pause and resume options also works. Then let's stop the recording and save the file. The file is successfully downloaded. Let's play it. Yes, it works perfectly. The only issue is the UI. Fine, let's develop the same project using GPT 4.1. By using the same prompt, I have already developed the project with GPT 4.1. Now let's run this. Cool. This UI looks better than the one built by Gemini. Let's record a song and check the functionalities. Let's click the record button. The gradient color combination looks great. Wait, even though there's no sound playing, the waveforms are showing huge momentum. How is this possible? I don't think the noise made by the fan in my room is this loud. This isn't what I asked for. Once the start option is clicked, the waveforms keep shifting continuously, regardless of whether there's any sound. Let's record the same song again. As far as I've checked, all the other functionalities like pause, resume, stop, and save are working fine. The only issue is waveforms shifting without any sound. But isn't that the core feature of our application? I didn't expect this from GPT. Though Gemini made mistakes in UI, it is not a huge issue like this one. Because I always believe that developing backend for an application is far difficult than the front-end development. If UI is the problem, it can be solved with a simple prompt. But that's not the case with core features. So, to conclude with, from what I have seen, Gemini 2.5 Pro looks like the most powerful model. Because in both the projects, that is, ball bouncing simulation and sound recorder, the results produced by Gemini is quite good when compared to ChatGPT. But I want you to be aware of this. In terms of token consumption, ChatGPT is better than Gemini. Though a few hundred extra tokens won't cost you much, just knowing this before using Gemini will be helpful. One more noteworthy point is that Gemini is planning to increase the context to 2 million tokens, whereas ChatGPT have only 1 million. That's it, guys. I hope the conclusion satisfies you. Please share your thoughts in the comment section. I want to clarify that everything I shared here is based on my personal opinion. I am not affiliated with or promoting any of these AI models. I strongly recommend that you conduct your own research before choosing a model. If you find my works helpful, consider liking and subscribing. See you in the next video.